Hello, Tamara Green here for A Course in Miracles, lesson number 254. Okay, we're going to wake up our entire body, actually, but definitely our organs inside of our abdomen. My feet are almost together and facing forward. My shoulders, head are facing forward, and then everything else moving back and forth with the arms and hips. And if you smile while you do this, you're going to be releasing even more endorphins, more serotonin and dopamine and all the feel-good hormones, the happy hormones. I love happy hormones. Okay, we're going to do a power 10. I used to crew in college, and they called it the power 10. We would give it everything we got for the power 10. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And just bounce up and down, release your arms. Doesn't that feel good? Isn't your whole body just buzzing right now? I love it so much. Okay, 254. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Father, today I would but hear your voice. In deepest silence I would come to you to hear your voice and to receive your word. I have no prayer but this. I come to you to ask you for the truth. And truth is but your will, which I would share with you today. Today, we let no ego thoughts direct our words or actions. When such thoughts occur, we quietly step back and look at them, and then we let them go. We do not want what they would bring. We do not want what they would bring with them, and so we do not choose to keep them. They are silent now. And in the stillness, hallowed by his love, God speaks to us and tells us of our will as we have chosen to remember him. So 254, let every voice but God's be still in me. And when you do, let me start with this. If you really think about it, almost every thought you have is stinking. So if you're thinking, basically you're stinking. But when we keep surrendering all this stinking thinking thoughts to God and say, I am releasing this to you. I surrender it to you. And let me be quiet and still enough to hear the words of from your mind, God, from God's mind, from God's mind to mine, and then to my lips before I speak, or to my mind before I even think, or to my mind before I even take any action. God in action in all that I do, right? So last night I was watching a podcast. This is my husband's amazing podcast. My husband David is the primary host of this podcast and creator. As a retired first responder, and it's all about first responders, firefighters, police, animal patrol or control, you name it, first responder, even veterans. And last night's episode was about spirituality, how first responders and veterans use spirituality to get them through the very difficult things that they are faced with on a daily basis on their job. And it powerful, powerful messages of guidance from God and turning to God for help so that they could help others. How they were able to talk about the solace and the calm that they would get when they would turn to God in really, 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 life-threatening and difficult situations. Children dying and horrific accidents, people on fire, the whole thing. Such a powerful podcast episode. So I'm actually going to put it in the description of this video so that you can experience it as well. It was, I definitely had a couple of tearful moments because it was so powerful. And I guess, the right word is filled with hope and even truth, that we don't have to do any of this alone. We're not doing any of this alone. But we've got to ask, we came here with free will. We got to ask. Or we need to surrender and let it go. We don't have to hold on to it, right? So let every voice but God's be still in me to get me through the most difficult, traumatic moments in our lives. And what a game changer that is. Because as you'll hear in this podcast, first responders, especially police officers, have a very high rate of suicide. And it's tragic. It's terrible because of all that they hold on to. And most of them probably came from a very traumatic childhood, lots of abuse or alcoholism or whatever, right? So I hope you watch that podcast. I hope you support it by giving it your like and even sharing it with other first responders you may have in your lives, because it really is just such a powerful message. And it just completely speaks to this lesson. And, we're not using our ego to try to figure it out. We're not using our mind to even figure it out. It's just, let me ask God for guidance. Let's let ego take a big step back and let me have God lead the way. That's what basically this lesson is about. Okay. Have a very blessed day. I'll see you tomorrow.